right, welcome back to the HyperFast Agent Growth Show. For today's episode, we're taking you back to the HyperFast Summit, which was just held a few months ago. So if you missed out on seeing that amazing event in person, well, here's a chance to get some of the lessons that you would have learned if you were there. So we've got another panel up. If you guys listened to the last episode, you saw an amazing panel. This one's just as amazing, right? We've got Karen Hall, Magalie Patterson, James Buckley, Nick Bush, and Nicole Saeed being interviewed by one of the top title reps in the entire industry. So sit back, relax, get your pens out, take notes. You're going to learn a lot and have fun. See you guys.
Welcome to the HyperFast Agent Growth Show. Get real strategies, real results, and real estate them differently. Lead generation, team building, AI, and more from billion-dollar agents, best-selling authors, international speakers, and real estate coaches, Kerry Shull and Dan Lesniak. Let's dive in!
AI is going to do all this stuff. He goes, what are you going to do, man? I said, whatever I want. All right, so we just heard from a top producer. Now we are going to hear from 6 more. What do you think about that? We're just throwing it all at you right here. All at the same time. Let's give the crew a round of applause here for putting this thing on. This thing is unbelievable. So this next panel brings together agents who are winning in different markets with different models, and they're going to share what's actually working right now. Okay? So moderating the conversation is Kat Hoke, and joining her on stage is Karen Hall, Magalie Patterson, Nick Bush, James Buckley, and Nicole Saeed. Give them a round of applause, everybody. There they are. All right. Come on up.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Kat Hoke. I'm with Allied Title, and I'm so thrilled to be here with each of you. So if you're ready, let's just get right into it. We have a very diverse group of top agents here. I'm thrilled to be moderating, and you're all with different teams, different brokerages. So I want to just dive in for a question for each of you, all panelists. What is currently driving your business? Fear, social media, teams, paid leads? What right now is actually producing results? I'll start with you and hand it down.
Hi everyone, my name is Magalie. What's really driving our business right now is actually having conversations that drive relationships. Most importantly, about more of our business are referrals, past clients, and the other ones are going to be PPC and Redfin.
Hi, I'm Nicole Saeed. I think what's driving my business right now is thinking outside the box, solving problems instead of just being a real estate agent.
What's driving my business is fear. It's hands down the biggest growth that I've had over the last 12 months. And it's touching people in all of the platforms, in all of the ways, and reaching out to them.
Hi, I'm Karen Hall. I am a broker, team leader, but also I do about 30 million consistently in my own personal production. That is 98% referral, and 2% is from one postcard campaign that we run.
Hi, my name's Nick Bush. What's really driving my business is social media. Is sphere of influence. So I do a lot of repeat business with my clients, so just staying in touch organically. Also, we leverage our tech stack to see who's engaging and opening and looking at home values, and we go talk to those people. So really just using the tech stack intelligently to figure out how to continue to build a relationship with our past clients.
Hello? A lot of great answers there. Thank you. This next question is for Karen. I did a little research. You have positioned yourself, it's really impressive, around military recollection. How much of your business comes from that niche? And was that intentional, or is that something that's developed over time?
So kind of both intentional and developed. I got my license in 2004. We had just PCS'd here. I didn't know anybody in Virginia, and I didn't know anything about real estate. But I knew that the needs of the military community was different and that I got it. I went out and bought an H2 Hummer. It was bright yellow, put military specialist and my name all over it. And that has just tightened. My biggest gratitude that I have is that from day one, I had the confidence to go all in and just become the subject matter expert on one thing. And that's still 98% of my business today. So That is the best decision, and now we've evolved all the way to the name of our company and team is Foxtrot Company, to just be loud and proud and draw in anybody that's in the military community. So,
yeah. Thanks, Karen. This next question is for Nick and James. If you had to start over tomorrow with zero pipeline, all over, nothing in the pipeline, what would you do first? And how quickly do you think that would realistically convert? So 2 questions there for you.
When people ask me this question, I think about it like if I had to move to an entirely different market, how would I build my business? And I think the easiest, best, and most cost-effective thing is to do open houses. And the way I would do it, at least in this market, is I would do an open house on Saturday, 11 to 1, and I would do another one at 2 to 4, and I would do the same thing on Sunday. And a lot of times you can get Thursday open houses as well, because that's when houses are going on the market. And I would meet probably 20 to 40 people every week, and then I would create a system to reach out to those people, follow up. And I think that would probably turn into business, in the next 90 days, and after 6 to 9 months, I'd have a super full pipeline and probably be outpacing all of the agents in the market.
James, same question?
I'm going to get real creative here, and I'm going to say the open house. No, but I'd use the open house as the hub and then build everything around that. So circle prospect over the phone and door knock and everything else around it. Paid social media through Vortex, GeoLeads, and just build everything around that. Invite my sphere and have a sphere party at the open house and neighbors only, but just have everything centered on the open house.
Open house, write that down. This next question is a kind of tricky one. Where do you think, this is for everyone, where do you think agents are wasting the most time right now? And what is something that you're seeing agents do that feels productive but isn't?
All right. I think what agents are wasting the most time on right now is just ping-ponging around. So you heard like 3 agents already say on the stage, really picking that one thing and going all in. So the ones that hear like, hey, so-and-so is like phenomenal expires, and so-and-so is amazing at open house. So let me learn expires, let me learn open houses, and you never go deep on one thing, and then you feel frustrated that it's just not going anywhere.
I think busy work that doesn't convert your business. So whether it be social media is so important, but if it's not converting business and it's not starting conversations with people, it's just taking up your time. And I think that goes along with anything that you do. Sending emails, if they're not converting, then you need to change things up.
So social media and branding and rebranding, anything, just to echo, if social media is not converting, then either figure it out or do something else. I see a lot of people see other people successful on social media, but they're not doing it in a way that's converting.
Also related to social media, I think agents, tons of us, are wasting time on inconsistently using social media, number 1. But number 2, a lot of people are focusing on telling people what you are. I am a realtor with just listed and just sold and coming soon, instead of sharing with people authentically who you are. That's what they connect to. And tons of people are wasting time on that. Slightly controversial on what looks like busy work is touring homes with people. 80% of those houses are not going to meet mission anyway, so dig into your skill level in pre-screening these homes for people, whether it's the onlines or getting really good at a way we do videos. We train on that. But stop driving all over the place touring houses with a bunch of people instead of touring it for them.
Yeah, I think I'm just a mix of all the answers that you heard before. I think I like to look at this in the sense of, kind of like basketball, right? Like Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Like he should never be working on dunks, right? And so a lot of agents come to an event like this and you get a bunch of ideas and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go do those 6 things. And it's like, well, you haven't even extracted, what you do really well, like from the one lead gen source, right? So I used to do that when I was a new agent. I'd come to an event and I'd be like, okay, like there's 9 things I need to do. And then I learned like, okay, I get all my business from the sphere, so let me just do that more, right? And I also agree that there's a lot of branding happening and not a lot of conversations happening. So it's cool to tour homes and get listing videos and make your social media something fun to look at. But if you're not having conversations with people who are looking to buy and sell, that's not going to convert into business.
So I think everyone up here agrees that being busy doesn't always translate into business. So shifting gears a little, this next question is for Magalie and Nicole. What is the biggest mistake you see agents making when trying to get into production, and what should they be doing instead?
All right, I would say the biggest mistake really starting out on getting into production is just not getting the reps in. I have a story, a parable that I share with all my new agents starting out. So just think of a pottery class. You split the class into two, and the professor tells one class, in 100 days, I want you to work every single day to make the very best pot. And at the 100th day, I want to see what that pot looks like. And then the next class, hey, it doesn't have to be perfect, but what I want you to do is I want you to make one pot every single day for the next 100 days. Can you all guess which class end up with the best pots across the board? One or two? Two, right? So it's all about the reps. Reps are really, really big, so we get agents on the phone right away. And it's not just about making phone calls, because that's wasted time, right? It's actually having conversations. And what's helped us a lot is using Shiloh. Who's heard of Shiloh? It's like a coaching assistant? Yes. So that's been huge, because then the agents don't necessarily feel that pressure on themselves. They can go into Shiloh, they can get that feedback. And asking for the appointment is what we've really, really have been pushing on that specifically pretty hard lately.
So a little background about me. I've actually only had my license for 54 days. I have 8 clients active right now, and I've ratified 3 contracts. I've had 1 closing. And so I think the biggest thing that I can say about my first 54 days is say yes. Say yes to the follow-up phone calls. Say yes to the open houses. Say yes to those appointments that make you uncomfortable. Say yes to sitting up here with a lot of people who have a lot more experience than I do, and just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think so many new agents, they think that they have to be ready, and production starts with action. So just be consistent and intense.
Thank you. That was great. Say yes to moderating a panel, if anyone ever asks you. So next question, this is for all of you or whoever wants to answer it. What's something about your brokerage model that actually matters and something that doesn't?
I would say top leadership is huge. So at our brokerage at eXp, we're super, super fortunate to have Leo at the helm. And then also who you partner with, right? The collaboration. So having access to not only top producers, but mega producers who just, you all heard earlier with Casey, right? She was getting shout outs, how it's just a great environment. I think picking a brokerage that's really the people are core. The a little bit least important, like, you know, the branding, office space, and that's not as important, right? The people and who you're associated with is really important when picking a brokerage.
Yeah, I would say that proprietary tech is the least important thing at a brokerage. Technology is changing so fast, and all the millions and billions of dollars that a brokerage spends on its own proprietary tech has just, you know, that advantage has been washed away with Lovable and all of the rest of the tech platforms, because it's changing so fast.
Anyone else want to take a stab at this one? Okay. This next question is for Nick. So in an industry where we are looking to scale, there are systems to help you do that. How does personality still play a role?
I think that, you know, you have the people that you're working with have to trust you and like you and believe that you're going to be the person to kind of get them to that finish line. And I think that for me, I'm lucky because, you know, I grew up in Northern Virginia and Annandale around a bunch of different type of people, so I'm able to connect quickly with folks. But I think that you just need to leverage, you know, what you know about the industry and how you can help people, and just like meet people where they're at to drive the relationship and build it. And by staying in touch after the fact, that's how you continue to build and leverage.
Yep. Sounds right. Next question is for James. So what is something that agents tend to overcomplicate? Something they overcomplicate that actually should be pretty simple.
A lot of people take a ton of time preparing for a phone call, preparing for a situation, and really that's going to keep you from the conversations that will lead to business. And so if you just get on the phone or knock on the door or quickly put together a happy hour event or whatever it is, so don't overcomplicate that. You want to just be in front of people so the conversations can flow, because everything else is just friction to the conversation.
Yep. Instead of over preparing, just do it. Okay, well, James, hold on to the microphone. The next question, I'll start with you, and then Nick and Magalie. What breaks first when you start scaling, and how do you address it? How did you address it?
Time with my family is what broke first, and so getting a transaction coordinator and admin staff to help, and then crowdsourcing help with showings. Obviously, you still want to keep the relationship, but you don't have to open all of the doors. And mixing those two and having that be a feature instead of having to apologize for it, and making sure that the client can see that home, on their schedule. I have someone that's going to see a home at 8:55 tonight, and I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be with my family.
Yep.
I think for me it was like having to be accountable to other people. So when you start to get VAs and admins and agents on your team, you have to take everything that you've been doing in your head so efficiently and effectively, and you have to be able to communicate that to the team so they can also win. And winning for an agent can mean, getting leads, helping them find open houses that they can do, and ultimately closing deals. And then for your admin, you have to set them up so they can help you. So you have to help people help you. And I think that if you're just kind of, solo agent, moving around and closing transactions, it's hard to pause for a second and get everything in order so that you can continue to scale up.
All right, so I would say from a team perspective, what really breaks first, for us at least, as we started scaling our standards, because as a team leader, operations and whatnot, you start feeling yourself like spread thin, teaching and training. So for us to overcome that was really starting to build and put in systems, including onboarding, training, something that's more in a group setting, cohort style, so that you can do it all together and it's smooth, right? But it's just getting there. It's a little bit challenging, but once you have those systems in place, and if you have a great mentor, brokerage, and whatnot, you do not have to build the systems from scratch, ground up, hardcore. You could just build in and pop right in with what they already have in place.
Thank you. Nick, if you wouldn't mind passing the microphone over to your left. This next question is for Karen. Do you approach scaling differently because of your niche, or is your focus elsewhere?
It's funny because I think we all get in this box where we think the way we do things is how everyone else does them. So I had to have someone point out to me often, that's not the way everyone does things. For me, I think it indirectly does because it allowed me to shift my mindset. By serving the military, we have a mission and a target, and we even have our own give back program. So we give back money to heroes on closing day. And I was kind of stuck at like a $7 to $9 million production agent, in part because my mindset was one of scarcity. These people would come and I'm like, oh, did they hear about the rebate? Should I offer it? Do I not? But that's a lot of money. We've given back over $1.5 million at this point, if that gives you an idea. The day I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. Let me just flip to an abundance mindset. And I'm like, let me try to give away as much money as I can. That's when I jumped up to 30 million, and I've just stuck it there. No matter what all my other demands are, I'm sitting at that. So it wasn't like an intentional thing, but I think that service mindset, flipping it to gratitude and abundance, it just changes the whole trajectory.
Yeah. Is there one thing that you do that you think other agents should not try to copy?
Me? Be me. I don't have work-life balance. I work 16-hour days, so don't try to keep up with me on social media, but somebody else might have a better answer to that.
Would anyone else like to answer that one? Anything you're doing that you're like, don't try this at home? Well, I have one last question I'll open up to the whole panel. If you had, and this is important because I've met some people this morning who just started, so if you had to give a brand new agent a 90-day plan, what would you tell them to focus on?
I can answer and then pass the mic. 1,000%, this is something that people don't know about yet. It's called agentinsights.co. It's an agent-specific real estate agent assessment that you can take. Agents Insights is plural. My agents are obsessed with this. It's a new assessment tool. It gives you a whole operator manual. You can get a companion guide, and it's based on your wiring. So ideal lead gen, ideal clients, ways to avoid burnout. And my agents are obsessed with this. They've uploaded it into AI. We've talked a lot about that. We've used it in order to help communicate with leads to increase conversion. We've used it to create social media. We've used it to, they talk about it with their spouses and whatnot. But that assessment gives you more than a 90-day plan, and it's just tailored to your wiring. They print it out, they upload it, they use it for everything. So I think it's still not enough people know about it, so it's still dirt cheap, I think. But it's just agentinsightsplural.co, 1,000%.
I think if people are being honest with themselves, they know what they're good at, right? You know if you're a personable person, you know if you're data oriented, you know if you don't mind cold calling. So I would just figure out, like, what am I actually good at, and what will I do consistently, and do that. With that being said, I would choose open houses, and I would do it in the James Buckley way, because his crush mine. And the other thing that I would do is just remember what the job is, right? Like, doing social media videos is cool, and like branding is cool, but the job is to talk to people, right, and find buyers and sellers. So I would focus on having real estate conversations, following up on those conversations, managing the pipeline, and going on appointments. And that's how you win.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the open house, and not everyone is good at the same thing, right? But what I love about the open house is it's not just the open house in person, right? It's also phone calls. It's also digital marketing. It's everything. And when you're starting, you can do that everything. And when you have one thing that's really hitting, pour more into that and scale back on the other things. But it's all centered around the open house and conversations in person and on the phone.
All right, so the first 90 days, if I was a brand new agent, very first thing would be, in my opinion, joining a team. Will definitely bring a big leg up. And then really setting the job as your career is more of a job. So every single morning, you book that morning slot for yourself as an appointment to prospect. Prospect is huge, and in the afternoon, we recommend always going out in the field, shadowing other agents. If there's no field work in the afternoon, then you prospect some more. One thing that's super helpful too for anyone that's with EXP, there is a training called FastCap that's live on Zoom 3 times a week for 12 weeks, to exactly those 90 days. There's lots of great learning as well if you are more of solo versus a team.
So I'm still in my first 90 days. I would say the most important thing is also open houses. I think that taught me so much. Also taking advantage, I'm on a team, and taking advantage of every single training. Even if you've already been through that training, do it again, because you never know when you'll pick up another thing or something else somebody says that might hit home and make your business better.
Thank you, and congratulations on all of your early success. That's amazing. Thank you so much to our panel. I think we heard a lot of great ideas. I think a common theme is find out what you do best and do more of that. And there are systems and tools and ways to scale your business, and we'll hear more about that today. So thanks again.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that panel. If you did, please leave us a comment, tap the 5 stars, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, share it with other people, all of that good stuff. And by the way, if you're a real estate agent out there looking to get more information, or just see what it would be like to partner with us, to partner with myself, Carrie Shull, Tim and Julie Harris, at eXp Realty, right? We give you so much when you do that, right? You're not just joining eXp Realty and getting the low cap, the low fees, the stock awards, and the rev share. I mean, you're getting all that, of course, but you're getting it with tons of support, mentoring, free coaching that Carrie, Tim, Julie, and I all provide. Probably $40,000 to $50,000 of additional coaching material and support per year that you get in a value add. And most importantly, like, we are there as your partners. We are there supporting you, whether that be how do you sell your next home, or how do you start recruiting and building revenue shares so that you can really experience true freedom. If you're at all curious, I would be honored to have that conversation with you. Just pick up your cell phone, text me at 703-638-4393. Again, that's 703-638-4393. And I'd love to have the conversation with you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.
You've been listening to HyperFast Agent Growth Show with Kerry Shull and Dan Lesniak. Real strategies, real results, real estate done differently. If you love this episode, tap subscribe and share with another agent who's ready to grow.